So today we're going to talk about the last two steps to retire rich and happy. Step 4 is invest in your income generating assets, and step 5, pay it forward. So let's quickly talk about step 4, investing in income generating assets. So if you've been listening to the series, we started with investing in yourself, which is all focused on cash flow management, your financial education, making sure that the money you earn, you are managing properly, because most people's financial troubles isn't an income problem. It's a financial management and expense problem first. So once you've taken control of your cash flow, you then minimize your risk, make sure that your stuff is in place so that if something happens to you, your life and your dependents' lives can continue in the same manner. And then the third step is then you become an entrepreneur to create alternative sources of income, or what we call MSI, multiple sources of income. But that income is then defined as freedom income, and we take that money, the profit you make from your entrepreneurial ventures, and you put it into your what we call your free bucks account. Your free bucks account is a flexible investment account, and that account builds up a capital asset. Once that capital asset reaches a certain level, you then move that money into an income generating asset, which is step 4. Now, what we've been taught is that from very small is that to get to retirement and to become financially free, you have to live within your means, save as much as you can, and build one type of asset. And that asset is called a capital asset. So we've been taught to put money into an RA, into an endowment, into unit trusts, into shares, anything that has a capital asset. And then what we've been taught is that once you get to retirement, you take the capital that you've now saved through your pension fund or your retirement annuity, you then invest that money and live off the interest. And I'm using interest in inverted commas because it's not really that simple, but that's the principle that we were taught. Live off the interest. Don't use your capital to live, just live off the interest. But that's only one type of asset. So we're not saying to people don't save and don't build a capital asset. What we're saying to people is that is not the complete solution. It's not a complete story. There's other assets that you have to invest in as well to get to retirement. And how I always explain it to people is, if you look at this wall and retirement is the wall, then savings isn't the wall. Savings is only a few of the bricks that you use to build the wall. The problem is we've been taught that saving is the wall. That is the solution. If you save enough, you will retire comfortably. But then we get to retirement at age 65 and our wall is only half built because we've only used savings bricks. We haven't used any of the other bricks. So we're not saying chuck away the savings bricks. We're not saying don't save. We're saying that's only a part of the solution. You have to use other bricks to complete your wall. And once you start using the other bricks, you can then build your wall much faster. That's why with our system that we teach through our financial coaching, we help people to get to financial retirement within 10 years. So instead of saving for 40 years, you build assets for 10 years so that you can replace your income. So what are the 3 types of assets you need to build to retire within 10 years? So instead of just focusing on capital assets, you have to focus on 3 types of assets. The first one is business assets. This is what generates income initially. The second one is capital assets. So the profit from your business assets creates a capital asset. The capital asset then takes you to start building the third type of assets, which is income generating assets. So let's first look at business assets. What are business assets? The biggest business asset you will ever own is you. That is your primary business asset. That is where everything starts. Now, I do a lot of talks, and in our forums, I always ask the audience, who of you work for yourself? And then there's a few people that have their own businesses, they're self-employed, they put up their hands and they say, I work for myself. And then I say, you're wrong. Every single person in the audience works for yourself. Even if you are employed with a company, you are still working for yourself because you are selling your skills, your time, your effort to your company for a specific amount of money every month. So you are selling yourself for money. That sounds horrible, but that's the reality of it. So you are the asset. You are the business asset. So you need to start looking at yourself as a business asset and then see, how can I increase this business asset, which is me? How can I increase my output? How can I earn more money from this business asset? And you can do that firstly by investing in yourself, increasing your value by increasing your worth to the company that you work for or to the industry that you are in. Increase your knowledge, increase your skills, increase your profitability or your effectiveness and efficiency. The better you become as a person, the more you develop yourself as a person, the more valuable your business asset becomes. If you look at the value of a business asset, you can look at the entertainment industry. When an actor starts to make a life for himself as an actor, he gets paid, most of them gets paid nothing because they're an extra on a set or they have a scene where they don't even talk and they get paid next to nothing and they're not really that skilled. And then as they develop as actors, as they become more well known and they become more valuable, they get paid millions and millions, but it's still the same person. It's still the same amount of hours that person can work. It's still the same amount of effort that he can do, but he's become more valuable for that, what he does. So now he's earning millions for a movie, where in the past he was earning almost nothing. And that's what you need to look at yourself and say, but I am an asset. How do I develop myself? And guys, if you want to fail at earning more and more money as an asset yourself, you need to have this mindset. Most people have the mindset of, I will do more once they pay me more. That is a recipe for disaster. You cannot expect a company to pay you more, your employee or employer to pay you more, and then get you to do more. You have to be willing to do more. You have to be willing to do whatever it takes, where it takes you, work for free to earn more. And we'll talk about this whole system of being willing to work for free, being willing to do more, give away your time to get more time once we get to step 5, which is in paying it forward. So you are a business asset. You need to first look at yourself and say, how do I improve me as the business asset? The second types of business assets are business ventures where you generate income through leverage. So that is businesses that you can get involved in, that you can generate income through the efforts of other people. Remember, under Become an Entrepreneur, we spoke about transactional, transformational businesses. You might start a business as a transactional business, but you want to move it to become a transformational business as quickly as possible. So the question you ask is different. A transactional business, the question you ask is, what can I do? Transformational business, the question you ask is, what can I teach others to do, so that I can earn income from their efforts? Okay. Now, once you start earning that income from your assets, whether it's extra income that you're earning because you've improved your skills, or you've got a part-time business venture or a side hustle, the income that you generate from that business or from that extra income has to be defined as freedom income. And that freedom income is then used to build the next type of asset, which is your capital assets. Like I said, capital asset, that is money that is accessible to you. So what is a capital asset? It's usually savings. So it could be a savings account, which we use as your reserve account, which is a simple savings account that's just linked to your banking profile. Or it can be a flexible investment account like a unit trust or an exchange traded fund. something that gives you some access to the market, but it is not linked to a specific period or a specific term, because your goal for investing or creating a capital asset is not to save up so much capital assets that you can retire off the interest. That's not the goal. If that was the goal, you would rather have gone into a retirement annuity, a pension fund, or an endowment. The goal for your capital asset is to just build up enough capital asset in a specific vehicle so that that money can be moved into an income generating asset. So we use a flexible investment like unit trust, ETF. So you want your vehicle. This is the unit trust, the savings account, the exchange traded fund. You can even use your access bond if you want to. Any place where you can park your capital until it reaches what we call your investment level. And once you have reached your investment level, you are ready to start with step number 4, which is invest in income generating assets.